Well, I have to apologize for one of my first videos after the holidays here. It's going to be a multi-part video. And for those of you who are new to my channel or maybe returning or whatever, it's one of those things that I can't do in a 10-minute segment. And so if you have a very short attention span, I would suggest that you tune out now, because it's going to be long-winded in one way or another. And for those of you with attention deficit disorder, maybe you should just stop taking your medication and see what happens. So this is essentially a tribute to a guy named Harold Pinter. Now, you may want to ask, who the hell is Harold Pinter? Well, Harold Pinter is not Harry Potter, okay, for one thing. And in case you've never heard of this guy, he is actually, or his work, by the way, he is actually an acclaimed playwright and author. And he's controversial. And that's the part I like about him. And so he is just one of those people who has captured some aspects of the human condition as a whole. And he doesn't exactly make a caricature out of it, but he observes it very keenly in some of his plays and some of his essays and so on. So, this essay, very famous, you know, and those of you who have not heard of this, and really I'm addressing this to people who have not heard of this, is called Art, Truth, and Politics. So, here is Harold Pinter. In 1958, I wrote the following. There are no hard distinctions between what is real and what is unreal, nor between what is true and what is false. A thing is not necessarily either true or false. It can be both true and false. I believe that these assertions still make sense and do still apply to the exploration of reality through art. So, as a writer, I stand by them, but as a citizen, I cannot. As a citizen, I must ask, what is true and what is false? The truth in drama is forever elusive, and by that he was a playwright, of course, so he's talking about dramatic arts. You never quite find it, but the search for it is compulsive. The search is clearly what drives the entire endeavor. The search is your task. More often than not, you stumble upon the truth in the dark, colliding with it or just glimpsing an image or a shape which seems to correspond to the truth, often without realizing that you have done so. But the real truth is that there is never any such thing as one truth to be found in art. There are many. These truths challenge each other, recoil from each other, reflect each other, ignore each other, and tease each other, and are blind to each other. Sometimes you feel you have the truth of a moment in your hand. Then it slips through your fingers and is lost. So language in art, including visual language, remains a highly ambiguous transaction, a quicksand, a trampoline, a frozen pool which might give way under you, the author, at any time. But as I've said, the search for the truth can never stop. It cannot be adjourned. It cannot be postponed. It has to be faced right here on the spot. Political theater presents an entirely different set of problems. Sermonizing has to be avoided at all costs. Objectivity is essential. The characters must be allowed to breathe their own air. Their author cannot confine and constrict them to satisfy their own taste or disposition or prejudice. He must be prepared to approach them from a variety of angles, from a full and uninhibited range of perspectives. Take them by surprise, perhaps, occasionally, but nevertheless give them the freedom to go which way they will. This does not always work, and political satire, of course, adheres to none of these precepts. In fact, does precisely the opposite, which is its proper function. Political language, as used by politicians, does not venture into any of this territory at all, since the majority of politicians, on the evidence available to us now, are interested not in truth but in power and the maintenance of it. To maintain that power, it is essential for people to remain in ignorance, that they live in ignorance of the truth, even of the truth of their own lives. What surrounds us, therefore, is a vast tapestry of lies upon which we all feed. As every single person here knows, the justification for the invasion of Iraq was that Saddam Hussein possessed a highly dangerous body of weapons of mass destruction, some of which could be fired in 45 minutes, bringing about appalling devastation. We were assured that this was true. It was not true. We were told that Iraq had a relationship with Al-Qaeda and shared responsibility for the atrocity in New York of September 11, 2001. We were assured that this was true. It was not true. We were told that Iraq threatened the security of the world. We were assured it was true. It was not true. The truth is something entirely different. The truth is to do with how the United States understands its role in the world and how it chooses to embody it. But before I come back to the present, I would like to look at the recent past, by which I mean the United States foreign policy since the end of the Second World War. I believe it is obligatory upon us to subject this period to at least some kind of even limited scrutiny, which is at an all-time low here. Part one of my video.